careful right here.
What people don't realize is that Maui was in a D1, D2 severe drought for the season, and the risk for large fire potential was higher there than it was in California for this month and last month and in September as well. The winds were coming from the northeast, and they were very strong winds. They were descending, going up and over the mountain range and descending what we call the lee side. And when that happens, you get acceleration near the surface. When you get these structures burning in a high wind, they're creating embers that ignite the next structure, which ignites the next structure. And so it happens really quickly.
We have this additional issue, which is that our island archipelago has been invaded by fire-prone grasses from all over the world. And the problem is so big. I mean, over 1 million acres, and that's big for a small island. It's 26% of our state.
These conditions all lined up with kind of a classic fire weather situation. It just so happened that there was ignition during the high wind event, allowing a very fast spreading fire to burn into the community towards the coast.
So this card is going to be under the false person card then. That makes sense. This is happening to Madonna so that people question if she was cloned. So that it is almost obvious. So that people talk about it because it is a distraction. That's why it's one of the biggest superstars that have been around for an extended period of time. Everybody knows the name Madonna. It's a household name. Either you're on the side of I hope she gets better, or you're on the side of is she being cloned, but either way you're paying attention to it in some capacity, especially because there's other celebrities who have also just had some similar incidences. Jamie Foxx, kind of Twitch. Britney Spears, who by the way was friends with Madonna. So this is meant to be a distraction. The next card is Collapse. That's going to be over top of the next card. So I would like this card to be what are they distracting us from? Kind of nervous because the other things kind of just happened. Maybe it'll be something good, right? That's not good. Man-made disaster in reverse is a natural disaster. Oh no. Can't control when a natural disaster happens unless it is under your control. I feel like I'm gonna cry, but it's not like me. Like there's something coming. Devastating. This isn't to scare anyone. I'm just telling you what I'm getting. It's some kind of storm. It's like which is interesting because I was gonna do a poll and ask how many people would be interested in weather type readings every once in a while. So then the last card will be next to man-made disaster and underneath of male, which the male card is it's time. It's time to do this. I'm gonna take a picture of the cards so that you can see them. 1 second. I interestingly made a post the other day. It's interesting because now it's interesting. About Ryan Seacrest and how he used to be on American Idol as the host, and now it just was announced he's on Wheel of Fortune as the host. And I made a joke that anytime there's a tarot card in the news, I pay attention, but it wasn't all the way a joke, because I did say in that post that it felt like that was symbolic of like the beginning of the Hunger Games. And I hope you can hear that. And I said that I felt like something was about to start. Everything is about to start, and the kickoff event is something weather related, because then you can't blame anybody because they don't control the weather. And it's all to distract. That's how they are distracting. I'm gonna do 3 cards. Government in reverse. Alright, well that doesn't count as one of the 3. I'm gonna do 3 cards. Okay, 3 cards to clarify. Government in reverse. What are they distracting us from? The rollout of crap, what's it called? The cash something? Cash One? What is it? The new money per Fed now, Fed One, Fed something, Fed something. That's this. They're distracting us from that. So if there's a giant storm and it messes everything up, that's a good way to push out the rest of cash and just bring in. And you're too distracted by all the other stuff to really know what's going on. And then there's chaos with a natural disaster. And you're more prone to agree to that being the form of payment if you need it in order to get supplies to survive. That was 1, 2. Oh no. In my other reading, I said there was going to be a shortage. Or, well, I guess it would lead to a shortage. Some kind of, you can't have this from us anymore, from another country. One of my readings, I said it was like a bunch of stuff was going to happen all at once. I think this reading's showing us what that means. And it feels really heavy. Like I feel like I'm about to cry, but it's like not even me like I personally don't feel like I'm gonna cry. The energy that I'm in feels like it's making me about to cry. And also, like, I can't catch my breath. I'm stalling pulling this last card. Okay, third and last card that they are distracting us from. Jealousy in reverse. The U.S. kind of making it seem like everybody wants to be us because everything is so great, land of the free, home of the brave. It's not that way. But if that illusion falls, then everything else begins to crumble. And she has a finger on her middle, she has a ring on her middle finger. It's kind of like, and since the card is in reverse, the middle finger with the ring is on top. Forgot to take my ring off. The middle finger with the ring is on top of the card. So it's like giving someone the finger, putting it up. That's why I felt like I was gonna cry. I believe within the next, allegedly my opinion, this is not fact, this is my opinion, all alleged, not fact. I believe in the next 3 months there's going to be a storm like we have not seen in a really long time. It likely has something to do with collapse over top of man-made disaster in reverse gives me the image of like a tsunami or like a I don't know if I'm making this up in my head or if it's a thing, like a super tornado. It almost feels like there's two weather phenomena that happen simultaneously and impact each other, and the result of that is hence devastating. And at the same time as that, we get cut off from, I feel like this is USA. At the same time, we are cut out from something from another country. Like we're not able to get something that's really important. At the same time, they push everyone switching over to cashless because of the disaster and because of everything else that's going on that's chaotic. Other countries are going to start to turn on us and not be shy about it. And all of it is a distraction because there's big changes coming. I feel like I'm in a panic attack. And again, not me, like the energy that I'm in, I feel like it's expressing itself by I need to like get up and pace the room. Pace the room, circles. Pace the room. Pace car would be NASCAR, would be circles. It almost feels like if a tornado was happening simultaneously at the same time as like a tsunami or something, like, but I don't know if those things normally happen together. This is like something happens that doesn't normally happen with something else, but it happens with something else, and it makes both things like 3 times worse than they typically would have been. Like imagine that a tornado is a car and like a cyclone. No, cyclone would be tornado and oh my. What would happen if we had a bunch of tornadoes when the wind was very polluted and toxic? It would spread that air everywhere. Oh my God. I need a minute. What are the months that are worse for tornadoes? March through June. So June is ending today. So it would be right after tornado season. So everybody would not be as expecting it as much as they were March through June. Due to the atmospheric conditions during that time of year, including an abundance of moisture in the air. Like if you have so many different places spraying moisture into the air from above, from helicopters trying to put out fires, they're putting moisture in the air. Tornadoes are often formed by supercell storms, the most violent type of thunderstorm. Commercial break. Totally unrelated subject. We're going to talk about a fantasy novel that I read one time. Okay? One time I read in a fantasy novel that there was this government with a bad plan, and they spent a lot of time getting the conditions right to enact this big plan, and they had to find a way to get a lot of moisture into the air without people questioning why they're doing that. So they put stuff in the air that would keep the moisture in the air, kind of making the weather feel a little weird, so let's blame that on global warming. So once all the moisture is in this air, and we spend the last couple weeks really packing in the moisture. So what we have now is certain areas of the country and surrounding countries that are releasing toxic gases and stuff into the air. So then in this fantasy novel, the people in charge in this fantasy novel they say, wouldn't it be great if we could take this toxic air and spread it out all over the country so that people had to stay in their houses and kind of need us again? Supercell storms Supercell. Large, severe storm occurring in a significant vertically sheared environment. Contains quasi-steady, strongly rotating cyclone updraft. I was saying cyclone and I was confirming what I was about to say without realizing it, because I'm saying moisture in the air plus tornado, that's a cyclone. Water and tornado is cyclone. Water in the air and tornado. Strongly rotating updraft, which is called a mesocyclone. Usually moves to the right of the mean wind. Can evolve from a non-supercell storm, moderate to strong vertical speed and directional wind. Allegedly, my opinion, I think that they're setting up to have the toxic air spun and distributed around a wider area by using a conveniently timed outbreak of probably a true wedge tornado, which is this instead of this. And they're going to say it's weather, it's global warming, but it's actually from the moisture that they purposely put in the air, allegedly, my opinion. Now, I guess I'm looking for a card to say this is true and it's okay for me to post it, because this confirms this. This is the first card that I got in my first reading, and it was the first one that ended up happening, the boat. Evil, debt in reverse, and hidden key. One second. Hidden. Oh, evil's not reversed. Evil's upright. Oh, debt was reversed. I put them in the wrong order. Evil, debt in reverse, and hidden key. All right. King of Swords reverse, which would be an abuse of power. This would be some kind of something that's irrational. The sword kind of is making me think of a tornado, and how I explained the tornado being equal distance instead of cone shaped. Then we have the Fool, and the Six of Cups. Let me see what clarifiers come out before I... Oh, we got two. Two is what I needed. Nine of Spades in reverse. Accident, trap, pain, a situation forced beyond control, disaster, demolition, tragic, high anxiety, major operation. And Three of Diamonds in reverse. Small money increase, part-time work, on and off relationship, quarrels. 3 different things. Spasmic actions. Costliest hurricane to ever hit the US. How do they get that money back that we need? What's a really good way besides war? So Katrina surpassed Andrew. Before Katrina, Andrew held the record in 92. Katrina means pure and implies a gentle yet assertive demeanor that cannot be intimidated. Andrew means strong or manly. Pure for Katrina, strong and manly for Andrew. Female and male counterparts. I can't tell if it's something similar to Katrina plus Andrew, but more focused on moving the air around and circulating the bad air. So plus in the same spot, or if it's kind of both of them combined, but in different areas, like it would happen here and here at the same time. So there's one card to sum it up. My prediction is that the US is going to get hit with 2 superstorms almost simultaneously at different areas of the country. There's not going to be a great response from the government. I see this happening by August 31st. Likely sometime in August, but it feels like early August. It feels like maybe one of the first days in August. Maybe a little later than that. If Spirit could tell anyone watching a good way to prepare for what I said, what would the 2 cards be? Not to wait for it to come, not to wait till it begins. And that was the card behind it. A wind-warped brush fire that's raged for hours and destroyed several structures. So I'm gonna let the news clip from Hawaii News Now play, and I'm gonna pull cards while it plays, and then we'll see what to look into afterwards based off of what happens there. Oh. Okay, so weird science, abuse, neglect, and secret space program. Kidnapped and success in reverse. Weird science. Secret space program. I think that's saying it's obvious that this is something that's not just like a natural thing. Success in reverse and kidnap. Success in reverse, hands tied, because they're saying that first responders are having a hard time getting to the people. That's this. Success, hands tied. What do you want me to do? I can't get there. Abuse and neglect. This is like the preview of we need to show what happens when we can't get to certain people during disasters, allegedly, my opinion, no facts. What happens when we can't get to people? for when everything is underwater and we can't get to people.
Multiple structures have burned, and in Lahaina, people escaped the flames
Moving.
and smoke by fleeing into the ocean.
Now, weary fire crews are scrambling to keep the flames from spreading, but the winds are not letting up.
Meantime, evacuations have pushed countless people from their homes. Communications are down, and emergency agencies are struggling to keep up.
Too much.
This is breaking news.
It's breaking news across the state tonight, but on Maui, it appears a fire crisis is unfolding as we speak.
The county confirms several active fires on the island, including a big blaze in Lahaina. We have
Nothing that can be done.
Take a look at this.
Money in reverse. It's all about money. Showing
There as the flames rip.
Showing power and control.
There as the flames rip through that tight collection of businesses on Front Street. A county spokesperson confirms that an unknown number of people were forced to run into the ocean after being overwhelmed by flames and smoke.
Nowhere to go.
The Coast Guard deployed several boats and picked people up from the harbor and took them to safer places.
We're told that fire continues tonight. We just got off the phone with Mr. Dakar.
Regret, is this fire bigger than what they anticipated it being when they started it? Didn't mean for it to go that big.
Who witnessed this horrific fire.
Had to evacuate
Fear.
because of that fire. I just got to Kamalui, so I have service. That's why it just got posted. So that was this afternoon around probably 4:30 in bright sunshine, full blue sky, but you couldn't tell from that video. That was taken from Front Street, right near the corner of Dickinson, which is...
Not he's a fraud. The fact that what is going on is being done for a fraudulent reason. Snakes exposed.
Looking down at the main business district in Lahaina, and buildings on both sides were engulfed. I think on the right, the building that you see where the second story balcony is completely in flames, I think that's where Lahaina Pizza Company is. That might be Lahaina Loft, but I think
Heat Line and Peace Company, Deep State in reverse, the opposite of Peace, opposite of
row right before the ocean walk were completely engulfed. And I have another picture where you see the sign just suddenly burst into flames, and you realize it's like the fire just shoots out. And there were no fire trucks at that point. I think the fire department was already overwhelmed with other fires nearby. And it's amazing because that is the most important business street on Maui.
Real news.
Heartbreaking videos you just saw as Mr. Dakar described the flames destroying a historic stretch of Lahaina. And people have been posting pictures and videos like this.
She said it's restoring historic structures as the work card came out. That was part of the plan. That was what was supposed to go down. Because history is being erased. History is being erased.
On social media, but information has been scarce because emergency agencies are in full response mode, scrambling from one scene to another. People have described the scene to us as chaotic and stressful. This appears to have stemmed from a brush fire this morning that was 100% contained in Lahaina.
The hidden key. This stems from a brush fire this morning that was 100% contained. Hidden key. Why is it not contained? It's an inside job.
Fort flared up again this afternoon, blocking the highway and many other roads.
It was contained.
The Lahaina Civic Center
and then flared up again
as a shelter, but any more specific details are hard to come by tonight because the authorities are telling us
being prepared for generations.
And there's yet another fire burning in northeast Kihei. This one began this evening. Residents estimate it's about 1.5 miles from the Kamalani
to destroy the mental health of the residents.
Homestead. And we have a report of another fire that popped up in about the past hour in Wailuku. We're still getting details on that. Again, the county is scrambling to keep up right now. And
contained, restart.
Information is hard to come by. The governor's office issued an emergency proclamation earlier today freeing up funding and
Oh, the
activating
show.
the National Guard to help out.
Both the state
National
and
Guard
captain's
to help out.
emergencies are fully
Pieces coming
activated,
together.
but the situation is no
The National Guard to help out. That's the pieces coming together. That is the plan. Start all these fires, get all this chaos. Boom. We need to have martial law of some sort. Manipulate. It's all part of the plan. And this is the pieces coming together. Even the aliens, all part of the plan. This one.
Where near under control. We turn now to our Chelsea Davis live in Ma'alaya, which is as close as she could get to the Lahaina scene. Chelsea.
Closest you can get.
Yeah,
They're
he
destroying
said
the
we
earth.
talked about information hard
On
to
purpose.
come by, but just minutes ago, they actually did send out new information to us. I'm going to just read it because it literally just came in minutes ago, as I mentioned. Mayor Richard Bisson has issued an emergency proclamation in response to this fire. The American Red Cross has opened Maui High School as an evacuation center, and Wahikuli residents in
Monster
West
coming out of the
Maui,
sea.
they are also evacuated right now. The Coast Guard has been
Evacuated.
responding to impacted areas where residents are entering the ocean due to smoke and fire conditions. Individuals were transported by the Coast Guard to safe areas. Now, they also tell us that a firefighter who is responding to the West Maui fire has experienced smoke inhalation and was taken to the Maui Memorial Medical Center, but he is in stable condition right now. Honopi'ilani Highway remains open, outbound traffic only.
Going against your own people, perverting the systems of your own people. The air is now unsafe to breathe. And we didn't believe that those who were supposed to be watching out for us would actually do something like that until we saw it with our own eyes. Because there's no way you can look at 3 fires starting at the same time, one of them being contained and then restarting later in the day. Intergalactic travel, it's all part of the plan. Everything is going to start coming together. The aliens, the pollution, the train derailments, the war, the this, the that, it's all part of one plan. And it's starting to get close enough where if you look at it in that way, you can start to see the pieces of the plan that fit together. It's like a puzzle on a table, and we've been working on this corner over here, the middle over here, this over here. Well, we have enough to put it together now. And they're gonna have some explaining to do, because there's things that shouldn't align with each other. Why do they go together? Why is all this timing fitting together so perfectly? Oh, that's why. Operation Mockingbird, government controlled media.
And more should expect heavy traffic. They said water buffaloes containing drinking water are located at the Kula Fire Station, Kula Community Center, Rice Park, and Crater Road. The county has requested for National Guard support. Multiple evacuation orders are in place. Structure damages have occurred, but again, no details on the extent of what those damages exactly are. Again, the American Red Cross staffing emergency shelters at Kihei Community Center, Lahaina Civic Center.
They need to get certain people feeling like they have power over certain people. It's basically, you know how the government has power over all the people, right? I mean, I shouldn't do that because they do. They have power over all the people that we give them. Anyway, but they have power over all the people. And it's almost like they need to create a layer of people who think they have a layer of power over the other people, right? So there needs to be basically replicating how the government has power over us. They need to replicate a group of people who have power over another group of people, right? Because they need to quickly knock out one group and have them have no power. And then they need to regain their power over said group that had power over the other people. Yeah.
And in Pukalani at the Hannibal Tavares Community Center, pet owners are utilizing those shelters. They say they do need to have those pets properly restrained. Now, we mentioned that here I'm the closest that I can get to West Maui, and the safest place.
The pets can't even breathe outside. So then the animals that are livestock and living outside, cannot breathe. That's a problem. I don't think we quite understand. I mean, we think about it, we talk about it, but do we really understand the repercussions of if all of the livestock gets knocked out in one sweep because the entire air is too polluted to breathe? It doesn't take very long for that to happen. Missing piece revealed. How do we rebuild from something like that? One fail sweep, air's polluted for a week, we lose everything that's outside. If there's all these fires, all this pollution in the air, and then there comes a storm that shakes it around like a giant mixer, Houston, we have a big problem. And it's all about money. It's to get all the money. It's to get us depending on them. Because just like if we lose all the livestock, if everyone's in the same boat and just financially absolutely screwed, guess what the solution is? We'll help you, we'll save you. You can all have allowances. One world currency. You can all have accounts. And it's going to be based off of you following the rules that we want you to follow. If you follow the rules that we want you to follow, you can have money and do what you want. But if you don't, good luck making it on your own. Don't try and go get some livestock and start a farm, because there's not going to be them. There's not going to be them. This is all part of a bigger plan, and until we start looking at it as that, and if we continue to look at these things as separate and, oh, well, it could just be global warming, oh, well, it could just be kids starting a fire, oh, well, it could be this and that, guess what is happening to our air? And it's hurricane season now. Just started, I believe. If you take certain sections of air that are very polluted and throw in a nice old big hurricane with weather manipulated tornadoes like we've never seen before, that not only swirl the air this way, but also swirl the air this way, you're effectively taking condensed poisonous air and spreading it just enough everywhere so that everywhere is just a little bit too poisonous to go outside. Then they don't need the fires, because once the hurricane happens, we don't really need the fires anymore. That's why it's timed this way going into fall and winter, because they're almost done with that part. They've gotten it all in the air. Now we need the storm. Coming out of the woods. Now we need the storm. The calm before the storm. These look like a bunch of tornadoes too. We're talking about mixing the air. Until we start seeing this for what it is and looking at it, allegedly my opinion, as part of a bigger plan, we're going to run into a problem when we realize that it was all in front of our face the entire time. Because it's not natural for this to be happening. This isn't the earth punishing us. This is what people are doing to the earth that we're seeing. Real information. What people are doing to the earth. Be right back.
I can be. I'm in Maalaya, where police are not letting anyone through. They're not letting anyone to the west side of the island because it is not safe. Authorities are asking people to stay off of the roads completely, stay indoors. Now, occasionally,
something coming through, some evil.
People fleeing the area, cars, a trail of cars leaving West Maui.
Nobody through.
Residents, visitors, just anybody trying to get to safer ground. Again, the two fires active right now, West Maui as well as Olinda Road between Kula and
Distraction
Mapulau,
from.
and this huge one in Lahaina. The one in Olinda broke out shortly after midnight. The other brush fire in West Maui was reported near Lahaina.
So it broke out after midnight. So it's definitely not from like the sun or the heat, right?
On a road at around 6:30 this morning. Now, we spoke with the mother who tells us her son is a boarder at Lahaina Luna High School. She says they're evacuated out of West Maui completely.
So we all went on social media, started looking all around.
They're evacuated out completely, and we got Epstein Island evacuated completely. Evacuated completely. It's to distract from everything else that's going on, the timing of everything. Oh, I didn't include that in the timing that I was talking about before. The legal proceedings and everything going on in that regard, it's the timing. It's all female in reverse. Yeah, confirmation, right? Yeah.
Got news reports saying that there was a power outage, and not knowing that there was a fire right below the school.
At first, they were saying that it was going to the Lahaina Civic
God's
Center,
plan.
but
What
there
he
was
allows
no way in, no way
to be
out,
exposed.
due to down power lines and everything. So we got confirmation that they were heading out to Maui High School, to the Diviso parking lot.
And this is video from the Kahului airport. You can see part of that roof has ripped off of the Avis Budget Rent-A-Car building because of the extremely strong winds Maui is experiencing. And the Coast Guard, we mentioned, has been deployed to help those people who were in the water trying to escape the flames and the smoke. Again, back out here live in Ma'alaya, authorities are asking people to stay off of the road, stay indoors, let emergency crews handle this emergency situation.
Betraying your own country.
They will let us know when we all clear.
As she said, stay indoors. We got betraying your own country. They're trying to keep us from being outside, forcing us inside, and then there's going to be some perfectly timed break in the internet.
Is given, but as of right now,
It's a reset.
everyone is asked to stay inside. Reporting live in Ma'alaya, I'm Chelsea Davis for Hawaii News Now.
Thank you very much, Chelsea. And now to the multiple brush fires still burning along the Kohala coast on the Big Island.
Kwanipuli Highway still closed between mile markers 6 and 17 after a fire burned about 1,800 acres there. Fire crews are still
They're
battling
stealing the
flare-ups near the
oxygen.
Mauna
They're
Kea
stealing
and
the
Hapuna
abundance.
beach areas. Evacuations are in effect for guests at the North Fairways at Mauna Kea and the villas at Mauna Kea. Those at the resort are sheltering in place. EMS is on site providing care. Meantime, the Federal Emergency Management Agency tonight just approved the state's request for a disaster declaration. This allows for the use of federal funds to cover firefighting costs.
On Oahu, gusty winds also fueled a brush fire in Waipio, brought down trees and triggered power outages.
Our Jolani Martinez continues our team coverage tonight.
Typically,
I really think that the one fire that's really big, I don't think it was supposed to get as big as it was. That's almost like why there was like a lull in it stopping and restarting, because it's stopping and restarting doesn't look good for them, right? It doesn't look good if it completely stopped and restarted. I don't think that was supposed to happen, and I think whatever caused it to restart got too big. It's almost like they started it and were like, okay, this isn't the area to do this, let's do it somewhere else, and they went and started in the other areas, allegedly, in my opinion, or somehow they just magically all started at the same time, maybe the magical fire fairy. Anyway, I think there was an I think something accidentally, it got too big or something. War. Huh. What I'm getting as an example is the bridge in Ukraine. When I said it was like when you get your friend to push you down the steps so you can be like, oh, they pushed me down the steps and get attention. Kind of like that, but like opposite, I guess. Almost, just like a little bug. Almost like, almost like if you know someone's doing something to self-sabotage and you're like, oh yeah, watch this, and you go and like do it the same thing that they're doing but like worse. It feels like that. Yeah, dating in reverse, like a separation. Like, I can't believe you're doing this. If you're going to do this, I want to let you know that I know that you're doing this, and I want you to know that it's me, because it's going to be worse than the ones that you're doing. Affluent, yeah. Someone with like power, or someone with power, or someone that wanted power, or someone that wanted to be like, haha, I see you, you know I see you, and now I made you look worse, because what are you going to do? Say that one was us and all the other ones were you? Go ahead, good luck. No one's going to believe you. Evil exposed. So this is what I think, allegedly my opinion. I think some of these were started intentionally, like an inside job for part of a bigger purpose, but I think somebody caught wind of this happening, went in and started a bigger one so that the people who were starting them would have to explain what they were doing or cover it up worse. Oh, Pizzagate in reverse, yeah. Conspiracy exposed. Basically free, yeah, exposed, released, untrapped. So it seems like inside job that was made worse by someone on the outside that found out about it and was like, oh yeah, I'm going to expose you by doing what you're doing, but worse, because the other ones are already up and going. And watch this. Let's see what else is on the news.
Trade winds back down in the evening, but not tonight. The hurricane spinning to our south off Diamond Head will keep this stiff breeze going through tomorrow, and there's already plenty to clean up. About 50 acres burnt near the artillery range at Central Oahu Regional Park in Waipio. High winds made it tough for fire.
The ultimate plan is everything falling in at once. This is another shovel of dirt in the plan.
Fighters to get the brush fire under control. They couldn't fly their helicopter.
It was hard stopping this fire just because of the high winds. Every time we knock a section down,
winds, heat, storms, fires, again, government falling apart.
Back to the same area multiple times.
Over in Kalihi, residents were worried about a house fire spreading through their neighborhood.
There's just like whiffs of like huge black smoke in the flames all up in the sky.
You have no other option but to eat us.
The winds were very strong and the fire kicked up really quickly and we saw flames. It was really scary. We had chicken skin and we were just hoping that everybody was okay.
In Manoa Valley, high winds took down a utility
The situation
pole,
is one that you wouldn't be jealous to be in. It's a bad situation. It's a hopeless situation.
The street came crashing down on Makiki Heights Drive in Honolulu, barely missing drivers.
We were this close to being, having the roof of the car caved in from the tree. I mean, it was a shocking moment.
In East Oahu, the big surf knocked down a 39-year-old woman and 12-year-old boy at Makapu'u tide pools at around 10:40
I think this is just like
with the emergency for joining.
As infrastructure problems, absolutely, a hurricane would definitely exacerbate that significantly.
Jolani Martinez, Hawaii News Now.
Saying the quiet part out loud.
Us live via Zoom is.
Is there anything else we should know? Yes. Okay. What? Distraction. Yeah, it's all a distraction from what's going on. Oh, so basically something is about to happen, like big political. Yeah, this is like everybody look over here so we can fix this over here. It's like we need to make an adjustment behind the scenes, but the in front of the scenes adjustment that comes because of that, we need everyone to be distracted so they don't see it coming in when it comes in. Real info, yeah. Is there anything else? Oh, the prescription, there's going to be some kind of prescription shortage, and that's another part of the distraction, but it's like that comes after air quality and like buildings and stuff start to get damaged from, I guess they're saying high winds. Yes, everything coming together. Partner in crime. It feels like that's coming semi soon though. It's gonna kind of like seem like it's not, and then out of nowhere. Out of nowhere, alive, yeah. Alive makes me feel like after some kind of storm. It's like the major storm that comes after that, like comes to life. After that is when there's that drug shortage. Yeah, fall from grace. Unable to get what's due to you, your royalties, confirmation. Scared the crap out of me, but confirmation. Oh, I had the volume all the way up because we were listening to the news thing. I think that's it. Is that it? Yes. Serial killer. All right. Yeah, please remember this is an energy reading. It is all alleged, my opinion.